Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so if you're looking to optimize your body for lasting vitality, we are unpacking a highly practical everyday fitness blueprint today. Now, you likely already know the absolute basics of moving your body, but today is entirely about optimizing that movement. It's about establishing a foundation that maximizes your efficiency, letting you completely bypass those complicated, exhausting routines and tap directly into the physiological mechanisms that will actually work. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 4 key areas. First, the secret to health. Then, warm-up and essential preparation, followed by the main exercises, and finally, cool-down and habits. Let's dive in. Section 1. The secret to health and unlocking lasting vitality. Let's kick things off by completely debunking a major myth right out of the gate. You absolutely do not need endless, grueling hours at the gym to optimize your physical condition. In fact, just 20 to 30 minutes, that is the optimal window to fundamentally shift how your body operates. When you dedicate just this tiny fraction of your day to concentrated movement, you create a massive metabolic spike. It effectively shatters the physiological inertia of a sedentary lifestyle. Remember, it's never about pure volume. It's always about the intensity and the consistency of the stimulus. And what's so incredible about this approach is that it is deeply universal. Human biology responds to cardiovascular and muscular stimulus exactly the same way, whether you're 20 years old or 60 years old. Just 20 to 30 minutes of daily exercise brings a massive change to your overall health because it activates the exact same cellular pathways for adaptation, regardless of how many candles were on your last birthday cake. Your body is just a highly adaptable machine, and it's literally waiting to respond the exact moment you give it the right trigger. Moving on to Section 2, warm-up and essential preparation, or preparing the body to prevent injury. Okay, before we jump straight into the main workout, we have to prime the system. A light walk in place, followed by shoulder rolls, arm circles, and a gentle stretch of the neck and waist. This does way more than just stretch your muscles out. Biologically, these simple movements crank up the production of synovial fluid, which effectively lubricates your joints. At the same time, they raise your core body temperature and wake up your central nervous system, basically signaling to your brain, hey, it's time for some load-bearing work. This neurological priming is exactly what drastically cuts down your risk of injury and guarantees maximum force production when the real work begins. That brings us to Section 3, the main exercises. Simple but highly effective movements. All right, now that the central nervous system is fired up, we enter the core execution phase, starting with 15 slow repetitions of squats. The absolutely crucial word here is slow. This introduces the concept of time under tension. By intentionally slowing down the eccentric, or the lowering portion of the squat, you're essentially forcing the muscle fibers in your legs and lower back to work much harder and for much longer. This controlled, deliberate tension creates those necessary micro tears in the muscle tissue that actually lead to real adaptation and serious strength gains. And honestly, it's far more effective than just rushing through 50 fast, sloppy reps. Transitioning up to the upper body, we move to push-ups. You can do these using regular form or by dropping to your knees. Now, this is a brilliant masterclass in biomechanical scaling and progressive overload. Modifying your leverage by using your knees is definitely not a shortcut. It's a highly strategic way to maintain absolutely perfect form. It lets you maximize muscle isolation in the chest and triceps without ego lifting or, compromising your lower back. You get the maximum physiological benefit by perfectly matching the resistance to your current muscular capacity. Right in the middle of this resistance circuit, we throw in 30 seconds of jumping jacks. And no, this isn't just energetic filler. It is a sudden, plyometric cardiovascular spike. By intentionally spiking your heart rate right after heavy muscular tension, you push your body straight into Zone 2 or Zone 3 cardiovascular output. This absolutely maximizes caloric burn and forces your heart to adapt to rapid changes in demand. It just beautifully bridges the gap between raw muscular strength and functional endurance. Next up, we drop back down for a static 30-second plank. This utilizes what's known as isometric contraction. So instead of flexing and extending a muscle, you're actually holding it under continuous static tension. This forces those deep, transverse abdominal muscles to fire aggressively just to stabilize your spine against gravity. It's infinitely more efficient for genuine core health and posture correction than traditional sit-ups, mostly because it trains your core to do exactly what it evolves to do: resist unwanted movement. To close out the active phase, we hit 30 seconds of high knees. This acts as a metabolic finisher. By putting the most explosive, stamina-draining plyometric movement at the very end of the circuit, you force your body to dig incredibly deep into its remaining energy reserves. This specific sequencing maximizes EPOC, that's excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, meaning your body is going to continue to burn calories at an accelerated rate long after the workout is actually over, as it desperately works to return to baseline. Now, here is a crucial detail. Between every single one of these exercises, a strict 15 to 20-second rest is mandatory. But listen, this brief window isn't for checking your phone. It is highly active recovery. Biologically, this precise time frame allows for the partial replenishment of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, within your muscle cells. It's just enough time to clear out some of that lactic acid buildup, which prevents premature muscle failure, all while keeping your heart rate elevated enough to maintain the rigorous cardiovascular benefits of the entire circuit. Finally, Section 4, Cool Down and Habits. Let's talk recovery and daily consistency. After a metabolic finisher like that, it is vital to consciously shift gears. Deep breathing, light stretching of the limbs, and long, slow exhales, they all serve a very specific neurological purpose. Those deliberate, slow exhales physically signal your brain to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. You are literally flipping the switch in your body from a fight or flight stress state, which, by the way, is exactly what a workout is to your cells, back into a rest and digest recovery state, allowing your heart rate to normalize safely. But, what happens outside of those 20 minutes is where the real transformation actually occurs. Think of it as the 23.5-hour rule. The workout itself, that's merely the trigger. The actual physiological adaptation, the fat loss, and the muscle repair, all of that happens during the remaining 23.5 hours of your day. Eating a balanced diet, staying perfectly hydrated, getting high-quality REM sleep, and taking time for mental recovery are the true drivers of your progress. Without optimizing this massive metabolic window, the physical effort of the workout is, unfortunately, largely wasted. So the entire roadmap for lasting vitality is actually incredibly simple, requiring just 20 minutes of concentrated effort. Consider this. 20 minutes is likely way less time than you spent mindlessly scrolling on your phone this morning, right? It's just a fraction of a single television episode. The profound biological benefits of this routine are entirely within your grasp, just waiting to be activated. So the question is, will you trade 20 minutes of distraction for a lifetime of optimized health, starting today? Thank you so much for exploring this framework with me in today's explainer. Use this blueprint, trust the biology, and prioritize your vitality.